So we will begin with the roll call, I guess, for today. This is Commissioner Ashish here. Do we have Commissioner Oscar Leon?
Here.
Sorry, Vice Chair?
I guess we need to first go through the details before. So yes, let's go with the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry, I skipped that step and moved straight to the roll call. So let's first do the Pledge of Allegiance here. Can I request Commissioner Oscar to lead us today?
Okay. Please all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll go with the roll call for today. This is Commissioner Ashish. Commissioner Oscar Leon.
Present.
Commissioner Vishal Gandhi.
Present.
Commissioner Gilroy Casanova. Commissioner Gilroy Casanova, if you're speaking, you're probably on mute.
Yeah, present.
Okay. Commissioner Kavita.
Present.
Commissioner Thelma Batillo.
Present.
Commissioner Van Lontron.
I'm here.
Okay, so we can hear you well as well. So I guess you can move from here.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, do we
Can
have
you see
Commissioner
me?
George? Yes, we can see you.
Okay.
Commissioner George.
Commissioner George Chang had resigned.
Okay. And Commissioner Jose Rosario. So looks like we don't have Commissioner Jose.
Hi, Vice Chair. Commissioner Rosario is in using his cell phone.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Commissioner Van Loon, do you want to take it over from here? I guess we have the roll call. We don't need to set any alternates because we have enough presence here.
I appreciate it very much, Ajit. I apologize for the technical difficulty that I have earlier. I do apologize. So thank you so much. So now we just finished the roll call. Let move to the next item, which is the sitting of alternate. Do we have Commissioner Casanova today?
Here.
Great. Sharon, will Commissioner Casanova be able to vote today?
Yes, he can be seated in place of our now vacant commissioner seat.
Great. So thank you so much. So then now we have the sitting of alternate. Let's move to the approval of the agenda. So before we approve the agenda, I would like to ask if any one of you have any item to add to the agenda today. If we don't have anybody, I'm sorry?
Yes, Chair. I would like, I don't have an agenda. What is the status of, maybe in the report, the status of the previous item regarding the town hall, the work that we were going to do with the Milpitas Unified School District?
Yes,
you're talking about the safety first?
Yes.
Yes, I'll be providing an update under the city liaison report.
Thank you
Excellent.
very much.
So that is on the agenda, right, Sharon?
Correct. Yes, number 10B.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Oscar. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Thank you. So let's have a motion to approve the agenda.
So this is Vishal. I pass the motion to approve the agenda for January 6, 2021.
Thank you so much, Vishal.
Second,
Can
second
we?
the motion.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank
this
you,
is-
Jose.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. So let's vote on the agenda. So I'm gonna call to save time. I'm just gonna call your first name, so that will make us move the agenda faster. All right. So may I call Commissioner Ashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Batillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Leon,
Yes.
Commissioner Victor,
Yes.
Commissioner Jose,
Yes.
Commissioner Casanova,
Yes.
and myself, Alan Trung, yes. Let's move to the approval of the minute on December 2nd. So may I have a motion to approve the minute?
I present a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
Second.
Thank you so much. So I move that the minute is accepted.
We need to
So-
vote.
Yes. So let's vote again. Commissioner Ashi? Commissioner Ashi?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Chair, who was the
Yes.
second?
Second, Jose.
Rosario.
Sorry,
It's me. It's me.
who was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Second is
Thank
Commissioner Rosario.
okay, thank you.
So right now we go into the voting part of it. So Commissioner Ashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Leon,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandhi,
Yes.
Commissioner Batillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosario,
Yes.
Commissioner Casanova,
Yes.
and I myself, yes, Van Lan. All right, thank you so much. So let's move to number 7 of our agenda today, which is the public forum. Interested public members may provide comment to the commission on any subject not on the agenda via Zoom. So I believe that you have the instruction earlier. Commenter may state their name and address for the record and short limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less as determined by the chair. At an agenda item, no response is required of the commission or city staff. However, the commission may request staff to agendize the item for the future meeting. Do we have any public forum comment, Sharon?
Yes, there's a raised hand. Irvis Kumar Mehta.
So they may speak now.
Well, I wanted to mention here that the Community Advisory Commission's prior meeting in the December 2020, it has been noted that the Community Advisory Commission was trying to establish and as well as, organize the event for the National Night Out. Along with the National Night Out, there has been a numerous occasion. The National Night Out conversation was extended, up to 3 meetings. However, it is also important to note that the Community Advisory Commission is to strengthen the relationship between the multiple countries and as well as exhibit the cultural heritage and the diversity that requires to be established within the city of Milpitas. It has on a numerous occasion, the commission chair and as well as the entire commission and all the commissioner were also informed of that, as a part of a government and establishing the relations between multiple countries, and also what is something required to be done in order to enrich the relationship between multiple countries and establish the sister to sister community relation between the countries. However, that hasn't happened. and still the conversation was continued for 3 meetings, and then it was also reported to the subcommittee for having a further conversation. I wanted to mention here is that the purpose of the meeting is to make sure that all the community development that is required to be established within the city of Milpitas, they are properly being communicated to the citizen of city of Milpitas, and as well as for the betterment of the city of Milpitas. And also, it is also to ensure that betterment comes through the government official which are running the meeting, instead of having the conversation being derived from a different conversation of having the national light out being done.
Well, thank you so much for your comment. We will take a note of it. So later on during our meeting, you will hear some report about some update about the Safety First project. So is there any other comment, Sharon? Sharon?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, there's no other raised hand, Chair.
Excellent, thank you so much. So let's move on. The next item, which is the announcement. Do we have any announcement?
Yes, so last night, Councilmember Chua was appointed to serve as a liaison to the Community Advisory Commission. So Councilmember Chua, if you wanted to introduce yourself and say a couple of things, up to you.
Thank you, Sharon. Well, hello, greetings, everybody. I'm really excited to be back here at CAC. I've been a member of CAC many, many years ago for many, many years. So I'm really excited to meet all of you and let's do a good job in 2021. I would like to be updated on the different projects that you guys plan for 2021, and probably we're formulating at the council level, we're formulating our goals and objectives for 2021. So the way I see it, that your plan should be an extension of what those goals are. So I'm excited to see you and work with you. And if you need anything, let me know. You can email me or text me. And thank you. I'll give my council member report at the end of the presentation, I guess. Nice to meet Commissioner Rashid. Nice to see Chair Banlan. And who else? Oh, work with Commissioner Leon and Commissioner Bishal. Nice to meet you. Commissioner Jose Romero, I've worked with you before on CAC projects, and Commissioner Batilio, we've known each other for a long time. So, and Commissioner Casanova, nice meeting you. And Commissioner Shidar, if I cannibalize your last name, please correct me. And I'm looking forward to working with Sharon. And who is the other person here?
Robert.
Sarah. And Robert's not here tonight, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Sarah is on.
So we're gonna have fun, and I look for you guys to help the community and continue your great work. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much. We want to welcome you, and we want to congratulate you on your newly elected position in the city of Milpitas. And we look forward to working with you in 2021. And just as you said, we will have the opportunity to share our thought and also our services for the community in the city of Milpitas. So thank you very much and welcome.
Thanks.
All right, so let's move to The next item, which is the business item. So the city park and recreation master plan update is in the approved city 2020 and 2025 capital improvement program. This project provides an update to the existing 2008 park and recreation master plan document to include metro specific plan park, midtown park, and city recreational facility. The update will focus on the connectivity within the park as well as between park and recreation facility, including trail. It also includes an assessment of recreation and community services program and fee. So at this point, I would like to invite the representative from the Park and Recreation to present the update.
Good evening, Councilwomen, chairs, and commissioners.
Good evening.
And thank you so much, Sharon, for having us today. My name is Lee Ha Im, an associate civil engineer with engineering department, and I am also the project manager for the Park and Recreation Master Plan update. We also have our consultant, Gate and Associate, joining us today, and our consultant will be providing the presentations on the progress of the Park Master Plan, particularly of what we have completed so far and what is our next step. With that being said, I'm gonna turn this over to Linda Gate. She's the principal project manager with Gate and Associates. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Can everyone hear me okay? Great.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good, good. You always, that first time you come in, you want to make sure it all works. So as Leah mentioned, I'm with Gates and Associates. We're landscape architects, and our mission is to get people outside. So as you can imagine, getting to work on park and recreation master plans is a total alignment with our passion. And it's very fun to come to you in 2021 and talk about something that's very forward looking, you know, sort of leave 2020 behind, and we get to look forward to sort of the plans the city has for the next decade here. So if you want to give me the next slide there. So Park and Recreation Master Plan update. Basically, we get an opportunity to go out and look at all the existing parks, facilities, and programs and sort of see the condition and what's happening in the city now. So kind of what you're doing now. Also in this Park and Recreation Master Plan, something that's not always included is we're looking at your existing recreation programs and your fee structures and comparing them to other cities to sort of provide the city some input on how to set your goals for fees you charge for different recreation programs. Obviously, in order to create a recreation master plan that's tailored specifically to Milpitas, we need to get input from the community, and that's been one of our primary goals through this process, and which has been very interesting, working during this stay-at-home process where actually more people are available to participate in line, but connecting with them has been the challenge, but it's been pretty successful so far. But the idea is that there's sort of a roadmap to future improvements. We're laying out a 10-year plan and discussing like how you might evaluate and prioritize different projects and where we need to go and how we need to meet the needs of the future population of Milpitas. Next slide. So one of the great things that's happening right now in doing the Park and Recreation Master Plan is we're doing it concurrent with the general plan. Often we work in cities, they're not aligned, you know, they're several years apart, but this, because we're doing them both at the same time, we can really kind of line those documents up together and what's being discovered through one process inform the other process. There are a couple of guiding principles that are coming out of the general plan that I think really are leading in the master plan for Milpitas. One is provide a park and recreation system designed to serve the needs of all the residents of Milpitas, which means, you know, depending on your abilities, you're a senior, you're a teenager, you're a new resident, like making sure that everyone gets to participate in the park system, not just somebody who maybe is interested in tennis or some other kind of sport, but everyone uses the park system. And then obviously to collaborate with other agencies on this, because we're apparently not inventing any more land in Milpitas. So we really need to work collaboratively with the county and the school districts to meet some of our recreation needs. You already have some partnerships, and we're sort of outlining those and looking over the next 10 years how those partnerships work. I personally think this is a responsible way to be. Public funds and public facilities should be shared by all groups so that we maximize the public's investment in those places. So those two kind of principles coming in general plan are influencing the Park and Rec Master Plan. Next slide. But it's not just the Park and Rec Master Plan that's getting updated right now. You have the Milpitas Metro specific plan that's looking at all the developments happening there. So we're getting an opportunity to collaborate with them on their park system, what's being proposed, and how that aligns with your park and recreation overall master plan system. And also the bikeway and pedestrian master plan is being updated at the same time. So you can see this is really a great sort of interlocking of a number of plans. And that really is looking at the connectivity between parks and schools and other kind of public spaces, because that's really what binds the community together, is not just that you have a great park, but you're able to get to that park, hopefully in a non-vehicular manner, which is what most people in Milpitas would like to see. And this is an update. So we're standing on the shoulders of your 2008 Park and Recreation Master Plan. So we take that as a foundation, and then we get to look at what worked and didn't work and kind of move forward. Next slide. So the 2008 Master Plan outlined a number of improvements they recommended for the city, and based on that master plan, $26 million in improvements have been undertaken. So that's, you can see how this works out. So you identify it, and the city systematically makes those investments. So at the end of the 10 years, you have achieved many of the goals that were outlined. You know, we did a lot of improvements in Milpitas Sports Center. You got the new skate park. A number of parks got redesigned. The Adobe Park building got redesigned. So a lot of accomplishments in a number of playgrounds and such. But it shows you that if you plan it and you make the investment, what you can accomplish. Next slide. So I want to chat with you a little bit about what we've been doing to date. And you can also go online and look at some things. So as I mentioned before, we did an existing conditions assessment. So we went out and visited all 36 parks and the facilities and looked at, what was working, what wasn't working, what needed to be repaired or improved. We also look at your demographics based on, when the last plan was done in 2008, how has your community changed? How has it evolved? Your population has grown by quite a bit, and we have to look and project that forward, that another 20,000 people will be added to Milpitas over the lifetime of this plan. So we have to think about that group. So we look at sort of your population growth, what we're looking at, your diversity. Milpitas is only becoming more diverse culturally, which is really exciting because you have a lot of different kind of recreation uses that people are looking to overlay in the park system. And so that's kind of one of the things we look at. We also look at benchmarking. We look at how you compare to other communities, like what your population look like, how many acres per 1,000 residents you have and such. Not that we match those communities, it's just one of the tools we use for seeing where you stand. It's when we're looking at like recreation programs and recreation fees that other communities charge. So you have a sense of where Milpitas stands within that, and you can use that information to make decisions. But we do not want Milpitas's Park and Rec Master Plan to directly match any other city, because you are unique and it needs to be based on what your population wants. Next slide. So in order to figure out that, we go out to the community, and we were fortunate to be able to start this project before we went into shelter in place. So we had the opportunity to have a couple of meetings with the community to find out some of the things they liked about the existing park system and some of the things they'd like to improve through a couple of pop-up sessions, events. And we then also did an online survey, and we collected data from that. Then in the second round, we took the information we got from the first round of survey about what kind of things people wanted to see and kind of dive down a little bit deeper on. We had some focus groups. We had another online survey that looked specifically at different park sites, and we even held some virtual town hall meetings. So we've completed 2 rounds of outreach, and then the 3rd round will be when the document is in a draft form, and we'll go through the public to sort of have them comment on the draft form of the document. So this is sort of what we've done today. And next slide. I wanted to share with you just some of the things we'd heard. So, you know, we had in the first round of outreach, we had over 700 people participate. We were able to offer information in English, Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. And basically the 2 questions we're asking in the beginning are, what do you like about the existing system and what do you want? As you can imagine, people love the playgrounds, the swim facilities, the sports fields, and they wanted to see more updated playgrounds and community events. Often when we're doing this, people don't realize that not only this is about the parks, but it's about your recreation programs, about community events, and even social services that the Parks Department provide. It's a wide range of services it offers. So we're talking about a lot of different things. There was, you know, wanting exercise stations, community gardens, more dedicated teen space. And so this led us to identify some focus groups we wanted to talk to kind of find out a little bit more what that meant. Next slide. One of the things, so as I mentioned, we did a focus groups. We talked to teen group. We talked to new residents, people that are moving into Milpitas recently and are maybe living in some of the higher density develops. A lot of Milpitas is people would have traditional backyards and such, but now you have people moving into higher density developments and they may be using their park system more as their backyard. So we wanted to talk to them about what they wanted to see there. Obviously the sports groups needed to be talked to, particularly because some of the fields at some of the existing schools were being eliminated with school improvement. So we had to kind of figure out how to shuffle this all around the existing. Plus you had the growth of certain sports like cricket and such that wasn't really envisioned in the previous plan. So how do we get all these uses to work together? And then finally, social services, because during this period, that's really been someplace that the Parks and Recreation Departments really had to step up, making sure that people had food and housing and such like that. They've been a first line of defense in sort of doing that resource without Milpitas. So we wanted to explore that more. And we also, as I said, on an online survey, it had an interactive map. So people could go to a specific park that they knew well and comment on things that they wanted at that specific park versus the overall system. They could comment on improvements they'd like to see or uses they'd like to see or not like to see in a specific park. So we collected that data through round 2. We had a couple of virtual town halls, like we were doing an evening one, and do a Saturday one to kind of walk through some of the things I'm talking to you about and collect information on the kinds of things that people prioritize and value right now. It's an interesting time to be doing this because I think even how we look at our park and recreation systems will be changing as people have been, you know, during this period of really, I think, come to value what they get from their park system. It's a place that they can get outside and they miss being able to use some of the facilities there and socialize. So the appreciation of parks and recreation, I think, has definitely increased. Also, as we all think looking for in the future, there may be a little bit more work from home. And if there's more work from home, there may be more weekday or day use of park systems and such like that, because you're no longer having that commute back and forth. You're taking a break, you're doing a sort of a walking meetings and lunches and such like that. So it was a great opportunity, I think, for people to think about what will the park system of the future look like and how would it serve me? So it's been kind of an interesting challenge. We've gotten some interesting responses based on that. Next slide. So I wanted to just share with you the focus groups because I love doing this demographic stuff and it's always interesting to find out what focus groups like. So we talked to, as I said, to the organized sports groups. And one thing I have to say, because I work with a lot of different cities on this, your sports groups are very interested in being collaborative and working together. It's not the like, I have mine, you go get yours, but really trying to figure out ways to overlay uses on top of each other. You know, they talked about how we needed to get parking, storage, restrooms, expanding usability of some of the fields by adding lighting so we have more hours we can play on fields, or even synthetic turf. One of the things that happens when you get multi-user groups using it, you kind of wear out the turf. So sometimes that's an option. There are some environmental issues associated. We have to like explore, but how can we maximize use? And clearly the joint use. And they talked about how, you know, a batting cage can be shared with baseball and cricket and stuff. Just really, how can we maximize that return? So that was a very interesting group. Then we were able to meet with a group of sort of new residents that were in some of the new areas that are developing. And what was really interesting was how they want to see the parks program more so they can meet their neighbors. I mean, they want to belong to that community. They'd love to see more like group exercise stations, maybe grouped so that you could be, you know, working at one station, somebody at the other station, or having a conversation, or planned like yoga in the park and things. They wanted to have more interaction. Also, this group sees using rental facilities like, you know, a covered picnic shelter or such to meet with families, because sometimes they don't have a large space together for Mother's Day or a birthday party and such. So being able to have buildings that they can rent a room in, or even just out shelters with picnic tables that they could use. But it needs to be important because sometimes then you need parking near these parks. And is there some way that you can permit parking during the time you're renting it, or other kinds of things? So there was just a lot of information that was coming out of that group's emerging needs and the kind of amenities they want to see. They would like to see many more uses in parks, because often they get there and the tennis courts are being used, but maybe they could play ping pong or use an exercise station or something else, so that we had a broader range of uses in the park so they could all participate in the park at the same time. Then one group we talked to was teens, because this is a group that often, you know, once they grow out of using the playground, you know, youth and teens, they don't really feel often welcomed into the park system. They feel, you know, it's like you kind of use it to a certain point and then you become a family. So what would engage them more in the park? And they talked about kinds of uses that they'd like to see. You know, we talked about outdoor ping pong and climbing walls and things like that. They're very sensitive to kind of aging infrastructure. When the park looks old, they like it to look clean and fresh. And obviously Wi-Fi was something that they'd like to see in it. But interesting enough, they were really interested in nature being in the parks too, that not wanting them to be all clean and manicured, wanting to have like places where there was a natural feel to the park, that retreat and contrast to sort of the more urban environment. As you might expect, they'd like social activities like, you know, food trucks that could come in one night to the park, or, you know, astronomy nights, or organized kind of programs that were supervised. And I think this relates a lot to, many of them talked about their parents had safety concerns about them going to the park. So wanting things more programmed, you know, so that their parents are more comfortable using the parks. And then finally, I thought it was interesting, they talked about how, you know, between schoolwork and the sun getting dark during the sort of school year, they don't use the parks as much. Their primary use is in the summer. So it's really important that they have like shade structures and water and things like that that make the parks more attractive to them during the summer, because that's their big time to use it. It's when they have free time. And then finally, as I said, we talked to some of the groups that were providing social services. And this is really interesting because it's different groups in the community that are providing it, and how we could collaborate with them more and you know, look at intergenerational events. A lot of interest in having the playgrounds more inclusive, so that different abilities could collaboratively use play structures at the same time. Different kind of special training for staffs. A lot of kind of input from these various groups that sort of influence it. And I think this is interesting. It's a very Milpitas sort of caring kind of attitude that the Parks and Rec Department steps so highly into this social services role and such like that. So those were some of the things that we kind of just hitting the highlights of some of our focus groups I wanted to share with you. Next slide. So, and then as I said, we had some general town hall meetings, and some of the things I thought were interesting that rose, percolated up to top were the growing interest in cricket, you know, huge growing interest in cricket, a large interest in inclusive playgrounds and amenities. So this is not where, you know, you create a separate, you know, ADA compliant playground, but it's something where all people, including me as a senior, as I'm trying to climb up in the play structures of my children, or like places where everybody comes together and they play together. So that was really a common theme. with the recreation programs, people wanting to have weekends and weeknight classes as opposed to sort of the daytime classes. And then some of the new programs for teens, for dog training, cycling, ideas of things that people would really like to see added. And as I mentioned before, the connectivity, people being able to easily access a park, like that they felt that there was a park in their neighborhood that they could get to easily that provided a range of uses. So this is just some of the things that we're finding out to date. I always like to learn about my community and where people's priorities are. Next slide. So we're taking all this input, and as I mentioned before, we're still looking at some of the joint use opportunities. We've had an opportunity to look at some of the school sites and try and figure out how we could put different fields in them and collaboratively work with them. We're working on prioritization criteria because obviously we come up with a big list of things that we'd like to see improved, but you have to pick, there has to be some kind of like, which ones do you first? So, like creating parity, preserving infrastructure, maybe satisfying the needs of a group that has not had their needs met. So criteria so that each year, so year 1, year 2, year 3, you kind of systematically work through your list of programs. We'll take those recommendations. There'll be a draft that talks about sort of short, medium, and long-term projects. And then, as I said, we'll go out to the community with that draft report saying this is sort of what we're seeing as our recommendations and how we would sort of implement that over time. Does this align with your priorities? Did we get it right? Did we sort of balance all those things? That, of course, comes in with the cost because different things cost different amounts of money. So how are we going to get that to happen? Like right now, we had to put a lot of the park improvements that were originally slated to happen in 2020, and we just had to take them off the table, not only because it was difficult to do it, but we just couldn't set aside the funds from the CIP budget at this point. So, all this is recommendations, and then you just have a plan and you work through it and adapt to it. Next slide. So I said we have a project website, so you can kind of go and there's more information about some of the things I talked about if you want to check that out. And as we get the draft reports available, we will let you guys know that that's coming in and have you review that. But I have to say that I've had a lot of fun working in the Milpitas community. I think the community has shared with me a lot of interesting insights. And I too look forward to a master plan that you guys can be working on for the next 10 years. And I think that's, if you have any questions.
Ms. Gates.
Hi, Oscar, yes.
Yes, just one thing. I know that it was a 2008 plan, and there were a few steps that were not covered on that plan. My idea, my suggestion is not to forget what was left behind from the previous plan, because there were some sites or some parks that were next on the list, but because of budget and because of the new plan, I don't want them to be forgiven to forget about those who were not, they were not able to fulfill their next level of improvement.
That's very true. And as I said, this is an update. This isn't a rethinking, it's an update, but you just sort of go through and reconfirm. But yes, they're still in there. Yes.
Yeah, any other question?
Yeah, Linda, can you give us the website that you mentioned?
Yeah, I think it got in the chat box. I think Liak put it in the chat box. Didn't you just do that, Liak?
Okay.
I think yes, I saw you do that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got a great team supporting me. They anticipate the questions before they occur. Yeah.
Any other question? Well, if not, I would like to thank you. Thank you very much, Linda, for the wonderful update. And when possible, if you can send a copy to the member of our commission, so that it will make it easy for each one of us to follow your progress and also participate in some of the focus group or the survey that you mentioned earlier.
Okay, will
Yeah.
do. Will do.
So
Thank you.
I did attend one of your focus group, and it has been really well. It's been good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I also wanted to comment something. Linda, thank you for including the inclusion part. We were part of your focus group, and I'm sorry, my internet has been spotty, so it kept freezing in and out. So I just wanted to ask, the part where you talked about the social services, was that a proposal that you're including in this plan, that there would be more inclusive activities and inclusive parks that you're going to be incorporating?
Right. That seems to be an emerging priority for the community.
Okay.
So yes, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Shall we move to the next item in our agenda? All right. So this is a very important and very exciting part of our agenda today. As all of you know, in January of this year, we will have to elect a new chair and vice chair for our CAC. But before we start, if I may have a minute to thanks all of you for giving me the opportunity to serve as chair of the CAC in this past year. The valuable and pleasant experience that I have will always stay with me. And so thank you. And I also would like to take this opportunity to thank all the city staff, the city liaison, and also the team of IT that have assisted us in making sure that every CAC meeting would be a successful one. So for that, I thank you so much for your hard work in assisting us with all the technical stuff. And I would also like to thank you, the former city council member, Bob Nunez, for being our liaison from the City of Milpitas Council in this past year. Thank you so very much for your work with our CAC, with our commission. So thank you. With that, I would like to begin the election process. And usually we would start with the chair position, and we would like to invite all commissioner to start your nomination for the chair position.
Oh, I gladly nominate as commissioner chair Oscar Leon.
Thank you, Jose. Any other nomination?
I'd like to, could I second the motion for that Oscar Leon nomination?
Thank you so much. Shall we vote on that? Any other nomination? If not, we can vote on that. So Sharon, can we start voting right now?
Yes, you can do a roll call vote.
Okay, so let's start our roll call. I would like to call Commissioner Ashit.
Yes, I vote for Commissioner Oscar Leon to be the chair.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Gandhi.
I also vote for Commissioner Leon as a chair.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Batillo.
I support.
You seconded, I know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oscar Leon.
And Commissioner Rosario, we would just have to go through the process, right? Commissioner Rosario?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so
I
much.
nominated Oscar.
Commissioner Casanova?
Yes, Leon for chair.
Thank you very much. And I myself, Van True, yes. So with that, congratulations, Commissioner Oscar.
Congratulations.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Thank you very much for your support.
Congratulations.
All right.
Oscar.
Here's the virtual gavel. Give it to him.
In good time with vaccine and herd immunity and all that, we'll get together in real person. So let's move to the next part of the election, which is the vice chair. I would like to invite all commissioners to nominate a vice chair for the CAC.
This is Thelma. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Vishal Gandhi for vice chair.
Excellent, thank you. Second?
I second the motion.
This is Commissioner Ashish. I would like to echo the same to nominate Commissioner Vishal Gandhi for the position of vice chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Ashish. Any other nomination?
I close the nomination.
All right, so let's do a roll call. I love this kind of election. We can move very fast to our other item on the agenda, but let's vote. So I'm going to call again. Commissioner Ashish?
Yes, I vote for Commissioner Gandhi to be the vice chair.
Excellent, thank you so much. Commissioner Leon?
Yes, I will definitely vote for Commissioner Gandhi to be the
Thank you. Commissioner Batillo?
Yes, Vishal Gandhi for vice chair.
Commissioner Rosario?
Yes, of course, yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Casanova?
Yes, Commissioner Gandhi for vice chair.
Thank you so much. And I myself, Alandru, it's a yes.
Congrats.
All right, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to work with Oscar. We have been together for a long time now, so.
Excellent. All right, so congratulations to both of you. We're looking forward to work with you under your leadership. And thank you so very much. Let's move to
there's a raised hand.
I'm
in the
sorry?
public comment. Sorry.
Oh,
there's
public
a raised
comment,
hand.
yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Urvish Kumar Mehta?
Yes, I wanted to emphasize that, what just transpired. When the conversation was being taken place for electing the chair and the vice chair, what was depicted is that the commission is so diversified that there are Indians, there are Vietnamese, there are Mexican, there are Japanese. All the different communities are being engaged at particular given point of time to do a selection of a person who would be leading the community advisory commission. And they also depicted that what it is take to develop a community and provide the right set of enrichment and as well as value to the community. So I wanted to mention here that every meeting as a part of a community advisory commission, the representation of a culture, that's what it shows in every meeting.
Excellent, well said. I really appreciate your comment. Thank you so very much.
Commissioner Van, I just wanted to add a couple of things.
Okay.
First, thank you for the nomination. Thank you for putting your trust in me. Just by the way, I'm not Mexican. I'm Peruvian. I'm Hispanic. And here, I'm not representing a culture. Yes, I have a background, but I'm representing the well-being of the whole city. So when I have been as a commissioner for the last too many years, I always have looked at the lens of being able to serve the whole community in everything, in every aspect. And that includes the diversity that we have, regardless of culture, religion, income, and you name it. Is always very important to serve our community as a whole. Thank you for that trust. Good news and bad news for some of you. Vice Chair, please learn fast, or somebody else, because as some of you know, this is my last year as a CAC commissioner. The new guidelines established that a commissioner can only be, I believe, three terms of 3 years or something like that. And I am currently one of the oldest, not the eldest, but one of the oldest.
Long term.
Exactly. So I was talking to Robert, and believe that this is my last year as CAC commissioner with the new guidelines. I might need to look forward to serve the city in maybe another commission or something else, but I will be more than happy to do everything that is under my capacity to support the commission and, of course, the city in general.
Oscar, may I interrupt? Because me too, I received a letter from Robert that my term will be end 2021, but he made the mistake, according to Sharon. That, and also I received that mine is already 2022. So you better verify that also to Robert, because your term might be also 2022.
Yeah, it's correct.
So
I think Robert
very nice.
made a
That's
mistake.
very nice, Oscar. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Evelyn wants to.
Councilmember Chu has her hand raised.
We still have an important item in our agenda today, and we have only 5 or 6 years.
Commissioner Van, I think Councilwoman Evelyn Chua had raised her hand and she had some comment. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're on mute,
mute.
Councilwoman.
You need to unmute, Councilor. Thank you.
I have an update about that when I do my report, and you'll be happy about it.
Right. I was gonna move to the next item, and you're gonna go first.
Okay. Are we on that now? Are we on the council list?
Yeah. So we now on the last item, not the last, but item number 10 in our agenda today, which is the city liaison report, and we would like to invite you first to speak first.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Commissioner Van Lan. Before I go on my report, I would like to congratulate Chair Leon and Vice Chair Gandhi, and also thank Commissioner Van Lan and Commissioner Ashish for your services. Thank you so much. I know it's a task to lead and also to be a member of any commissions. This is a volunteer work, and I look at CAC as an extension of the City Council. You're out there, you're reaching out to the communities, and I've been there. I've sat on this commission for many years, and I've enjoyed it. And we made an impact like you guys are making an impact every day. So thank you for your services, and looking forward to working with you. Anyway, because we don't want to lose any good people, any good commissioners, dedicated, committed to service the community. Mayor Tran introduced an amendment to the guidelines of commissioners. We are proposing to remove term limits, so you can serve however long you want. There's no longer, it's going to be on the agenda on the next couple of meetings for the City Council, but it's already on the plate to remove term limits on any commissions. So, Chair Leon, so this is not your last year. I just want to let you know that. So thank you so much. In terms of reports for the last two meetings that I've been with the City Council, if you look at your charter, CAC, your charter says citywide beautification, neighborhood cleanup, issues related to neighborhood abatements. And lo and behold, the first few initiatives that were introduced in the last two meetings of the City Council are, let me tell you, it's dumpster day that's related to beautification. That was introduced by Mayor Tran, and Main Street Revitalization Task Force that we're thinking of creating, that's related to CAC. And I've introduced a formation of a task force called Beautify Milpitas. That's in line with CAC. So you're really an extension of the City Council if you look at your role. So that's how I look at CAC. Also, another on the specific items, we're going to create a homeless task force. So this is to address our city's need to create a short and long-term strategies for homelessness in the city. And that was introduced by Mayor Tran. And like I said before, the commission structure is being changed. So that's going to happen in the next few meetings of the council. I also introduced in order to address the affordable housing in Milpitas, I introduced an initiative to remove the option for developers to opt out of providing 15% of housing. Let's say they are developing 100 houses. They're supposed to provide 15 units of affordable housing, but they can opt out of it by paying fees. The initiative that I introduced last night will not give them that option. They have to build 15% affordable housing. So that's good, I think. What else? There was a reappointment of planning commissioner and also a new appointment at the Veterans Commission. Since there is a vacancy right now at CAC, please ask your friends or nominate somebody. Let me know, email me, and please don't call me because I get all these calls from Mexico, New Mexico, Alabama. Please text me. I do better in texting. What else? That's basically it. I think we're looking into also creating a task force to address how we spend our Measure F funds. So when I was on the Planning Commission, I was also part of the Water Task Force. So don't limit yourself. If you're interested in any of these task force, go and apply, because you have the background, you have the commitment, you have the dedication. If you're interested in any of these, please apply. And that's it, I think. It's been a busy 2 meetings of the City Council. I'm sure we will be too. Thank you. And any questions?
Thank you for your report, Councilmember Chua. It's nice to have you back to CAC, and with your expertise, you're going to help us move along together with all the plans for the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council Chu, City Council Chu. I would like to. I'm sorry.
There's a raised hand. There's a raised hand from. Oh, okay. I was just going to ask if alternate. Yeah. No.
Sorry, That was no, it was just I just wanted to make a comment earlier about Oscar terming out, so that's all I want. But that's okay; it's now passed. So
Now you hear the good news, Kavita.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. So in the interest of time, let me move to the next item. I mean the next part of the item 10, which is the city staff.
and actually,
Sharon.
yes. And since Chair Leon was voted in, I think he'll be running the meeting from this point forward.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sharon.
And
Please, we can move to the city staff report?
okay, thank you. So I have a quick update regarding the safety first community event, and then I have Sarah will be providing an update too. So as discussed at the December meeting, and also the November, I think it was 19th subcommittee meeting, the Safety First community event was going to be a possible joint effort with the Milpitas Unified School District, and the CAC will be in a supporting role. So at the December 15th council meeting, Councilmember Fan, he stated, and the council agreed and concurred to defer this item to a time when the new police chief arrives in 2021 and during the public safety month when that arrives. So when a new police chief is on board, we'll be coordinating with them and obtain the info at the time and to work on that at that time. And I've already informed the school district as well, and that was with President Norwood. So if there's no questions, I'll turn it over to Sarah, who's going to share some news about the CDBG.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So I just have a quick update about the Community Development Block Grant. So historically, the CAC has been involved in the process, and we are kind of city staff is in the process of finalizing the timeline for the this fiscal year, which would be 2021, 2022. And there will be more updates to come about that. But our first step this year in the CDBG process is distributing a survey to residents and to the CAC to provide input on distributing CDBG funds, and we would greatly appreciate if you could all assist us by filling out the survey. The survey kind of goes over what programs you think would best help the city and what you think should be the city's top priority when considering the distribution of community development block grant funds for the upcoming fiscal year. So one thing that we wanted to make sure of is that the responses from the Community Advisory Commission are kind of distinguished from the rest of the community responses. And the way that we are asking for that to happen is for you to actually register for the survey prior to taking it. So on your screen, you'll find the page that it'll take you to once we send out the link for the survey. And up at the top, you'll see a sign in button. So if you could go ahead and click on the sign in button prior to taking the survey and creating an account. If you've never taken a survey for the city through this OpenGov platform before, you'll click on register now. And next you will register by filling in all of your information here, your name, address, and email address, create a password. And then down at the bottom, once you've filled everything in, you'll click the button that says register using our secure server. And from there, an email will be sent to the email address you provided, asking you to click a link to verify the creation of your account. So you'll go and click that link, which will complete the verification process. And then you can click the link again that was sent that will take you to the survey homepage. And just to kind of give you an example of the survey, you would click Take the Survey, and it will have kind of an overview of the Community Development Block Grant. And you'll select that you are a Community Advisory Commissioner filling out the survey, which would be the first question there. And the subsequent questions just ask you to prioritize what you think is most important to allocate available funding to in the community. So you would click on any of the options that you find are the most important, and you can prioritize them 1 through 5 here for the first one. And you can change around the priorities by clicking the up and down arrows. And you can also leave some unmarked if you aren't sure that you think it's a priority, or if you don't want to select all of the options for whatever reason. So it's the same format kind of all throughout the survey. We'll get kind of specific into the types of projects down below that funds can be used for CDBG, as it relates to housing, public services, capital improvements, and all of the different categories there. So you'll repeat that process throughout this top part of the survey, and then at the bottom there are a couple of open-ended questions for commissioners to fill out. Anything that maybe this survey didn't cover, or if you have specific projects you feel should be funded with the CDBG funds, you can provide the name of the organization and a point of contact if you have one, and that will prompt us to make sure they're on our outreach list for funding this year. So this is our first step in the CDBG funding process for fiscal year 21-22. We think it's really important to have feedback from the community on what they think is most important as far as where the funds are distributed. And we definitely value the opinion of the CAC. You guys have been involved each year and have really helped us to identify community priorities. So if you wouldn't mind helping us out by filling out the survey, we will email it out to each of you. And just remember to sign in and create an account so that we can verify that each of the CAC members have given their response via your email address, then that would be great. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can walk you through it or address any concerns that you might have.
Sarah, the ones that we already have taken different other surveys with this system, we don't need to register again, correct? We just receive the email and that will be enough to go from there.
Yeah, so I believe if you've already taken a survey through the platform before and you have an account already, just click the sign in button and use your login information that you've already created to complete this survey.
Thank you. Any other comments for Sarah?
I had a comment, Sarah.
Yes.
I was just taking the survey. I'm sorry, I forgot to sign in. I'm going to redo that after. But I noticed something that's glaringly missing is with regard to services for individuals with disabilities. That's not mentioned anywhere as a priority. Is that not part of the, is that group not considered?
So the priorities are taken from the 5-year plan, the consolidated plan that we have. There is an option for, I believe it says other public services, and all other categories would fall under that one, and definitely include in the questions at the end, the open-ended questions that you're able to type in, any organizations that you think would be a good fit for CDBG funding, and express, the importance for funding to go to individuals with disabilities. That would be a good place for that response.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comment? If not, if there is no other comments before we move to adjourn, I just want to mention a couple of things. I would like to officially thank Commissioner George Chen for his years of service with us. I know that he resigned. I think he was also going to finish his term. So I just wanted to officially mention it to acknowledge the services that he has done as member of the CAC Commission. Besides that, it was mentioned that we are going to have an opening, but I believe that the opening, how that works, is one of the alternates becomes the new official commissioner, CAC commissioner, and then the opening will be for a second alternate. I just wanted clarification in that aspect.
That is correct, Chair Leon.
Okay. Thank you. So at this point, Commissioner Casanova will be a permanent member, and we will have only one alternate, Commissioner Sridhar, and what we will need to promote or ask our citizens, residents, for an additional alternate CAC commissioner. Okay, thank you for the clarification, Councilmember Chua. With that in mind,
Chair Leon,
yes.
if I can, yeah, we just want to double check with City Clerk's office because I think, you know, to reapply, there's still a process to go through, you know, to be sending the interest to the mayor with a copy to the City Clerk, and then the mayor to do the any reappointment and confirmation by the City Council. So, you know, there's still a process. So I just want to let you know that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And who takes care of that? That will be the commissioner itself with the city, or?
Yeah, and actually I think Sarah and Robert have been coordinating with our City Clerk's office, so we will do that along with the commissioner as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chair Leon.
Yes.
But if you know somebody really well and you think that would contribute a lot to the commission, you can send, you know, send their names to me, and I would make a recommendation to the mayor.
Thank you, and that applies to anyone, any commissioner.
Any one of you that knows somebody that you really feel will fit in the CAC commission, I would look at it and make a recommendation if appropriate.
Thank you very much. Is anything else? I think we have one last item on the agenda. That is the adjourn. Anything else before that? And if that's the case, who wants to move?
Chair Leon, there's a raised hand in public comment.
Okay. Please go ahead, proceed.
With no matters to discuss, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Commissioner Rosario, 1 second. We have a raised hand from a member of the audience. Yes, can proceed, please.
With regards to the federal CDBG grant, I think it is important that, you know, the CAC Commission continues to monitor that, you know, what are the funds, you know, they are being funded as a part of a CDBG grant from the federal government, as well as, you know, monitor all the fundings that is being provided to the city of Milpitas, and overseeing all the fundings, you know, that is being with the city of Milpitas, and also, you know, being helped out to the city of Milpitas and as well as a citizen of Milpitas. It is important to make sure that, you know, this funding continue to be monitored and also be evaluated. As per the presidential order, all the fundings, federal government, state government fundings are to be monitored all the time, and that funding needs to be reported back to the federal government as well.
Thank you for your comment. Just to mention that we have a specific roles as commission. We are an advisory commission. We recommend funding, etc., but it is the city council, the ones who vote and make the final decision based on our recommendations. So our role is, yes, as an advisory commission to the city in regard of the community advisory items. Thank you for your comment. Commissioner Rosario, I think you were going to make a motion?
Yes, with no more matters to discuss, I move that the meeting be adjourned 8:20 p.m.
I second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Tron. Commissioner Ashish?
Yes, I vote to adjourn.
Commissioner Gandhi?
I also vote to adjourn.
Commissioner Casanova?
I vote.
Commissioner Batillo?
Yes.
Of course, Commissioner Rosario, you present the motion. And yes, my vote. Thank you very much. Looking forward to work very closely with all of you and with Commissioner Gandhi to make all the efforts. Please be patient with both of us because we are completely new, so we will try to do our best to fulfill our roles. Thank you again, and good night.
Thank you. Good night.
See you in
Happy
February.
New Year, everyone.
Yep. Happy New
Okay,
Year.
likewise.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.